welcome to the Coweta Innovation Expo Shark Tank. The Coweta Innovation Expo is a competition designed to highlight student innovation in multiple areas of interest with a focus on 21st century skills, entrepreneurship, and community activism. This virtual competition allows students to compete and share their ideas with local community members with notoriety for being innovative in our community. Our Sharks have had access to our finalist websites for a few weeks now, and will now interview our students in a 1-minute pitch session. Let's meet our Sharks. Our first Shark is Hasko Craver. He's the Business Development Director for the City of Noonan. Chad Ramey is an undergraduate student at Georgia Institute of Technology where he studies computer science. Sarah Lees, a former educator, is the Clinical Intellectual Property Manager for Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Tomarcus Cook is the pastor of the St. Smyrna Baptist Church in Noonan and Coweta County's 2017 Citizen of the Year.
Hello, welcome. We're happy to have you here today. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the idea?
Hello, my name is Matthew Gilliard, and this is my partner, James Fossell. Our project was on internet addiction. With the usage of more internet in our daily lives, we see it as a problem because there might be people that just are fully absorbed. They don't learn how to talk to people, they don't know how to interact, and they're just constantly looking down and not paying attention to what's the world around them. In this county, everyone has been given a Chromebook, which we see that that's a big introduction to the internet because now every student has it. Even if they don't have a phone at home or they don't have a computer at home, now every single student has access to the internet. And we wanted to know how will that affect them. So we did a survey and asked them for their grade point average. And we asked them for how many hours they estimated they were on the internet. Our results actually came back not as we hypothesized. We hypothesized that with more usage of the internet, the grade point average would be lower because they're not studying, they're just YouTubing and just surfing. But we found that they were actually a little bit higher, so we were wondering why that might be. Then we came to the conclusion that it might be because they're not just using the internet for surfing and doing whatever, they might be using study. Things like Quizlet and Google Classroom, they can ask teachers if they have problems on their homework. They can constantly be studying even if they're not in school. If they forget a book, well, they can look up something online, some tutorial on how to do a math problem.
Great, thank you. So how many students did you survey?
A classroom of around 30 students.
Okay, that's a very good sample size. And so they were all in the same grade as you then, I guess?
They were all 8th grade, but we were taking a 9th grade civics class.
Okay, great, thank you so much.
Hey guys, welcome. Thanks for attacking this issue. It's kind of neat. I'm curious to know, in your own life experience, have you ever seen maybe your addiction to the internet affect your ability to study?
I personally do not have a cell phone. My parents don't really want me to have one for a while. So I haven't really had that much exposure to the internet because I don't really get time to do it during the week. Weekends the only time I get really do internet or gaming or anything. So on weekdays it's outside or studying, and so I study and I don't really.
Okay. So it hasn't affected you, the internet exposure? No. At least negatively it hasn't affected you. Good. Good. Well, I hope you continue with that, and I commend your parents for cracking the whip, so to speak. Sir?
Cool beans. So would you consider from your findings that the internet is a resource for students then?
I would, but at the same time I feel like there could be programs and maybe an app that we were considering making that could help cut down on internet time or only make them on certain sites. So maybe once an hour's up, they just lose the Wi-Fi connection, so they can't just be on it for 3 hours at a time and just killing brain cells and not outside or talking to their parents.
Yeah, awesome.
Were there any, educational resources, motivations from teachers or parents that you guys might have noticed that made a difference between students using the internet for unproductive means versus using the internet to study? Or were there any behaviors or common linkages that were associated there?
Well, I mean, it's just during school you'll see kids on their phones like trying to sneak it during class, and it's just all these things. You go into a grocery store and you just see a little 3-year-old on this big iPad that he's just playing some game, and we just thought, well, is that really necessary to be on it all the time? And then, I mean, my parents, of course, have always never really let us just do whatever on the weekdays and stuff. So, I mean, I've sort of learned from that. And then on the news, sometimes they'll say stuff about doing studies on how using your cell phone will affect your life and your health. And then so we just looked at those and we were like, well, maybe that's something we need to look into, and we did.
You guys have done a great job answering our questions. Thank you so much for your time. We were really happy to hear about your idea today.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thanks, guys.
Hey girls, welcome. Tell me a little bit about why you're here today.
Every 24 hours. This is terrible for the environment, and our project will help save energy, save gas, and it will help the environment, and it'll also save money for you and help your wallet. Thank you.
Good, great job, great pitch, great ideas. Have you thought about or have you borrowed this technology from another industry? Did you look to somebody who was doing something similar first and thought, well, yeah, maybe we can turn this into an application for our personal automobiles?
We absolutely have. We've researched it a lot, and we've actually looked at Tesla as a model, and they've created solar-powered cars completely, and these cars run off of solar power. But our project is designed to install it into your car that you already own, so you don't have to spend the investment $30,000 in not buying a brand new car. You just have to spend money to put our product on top of the car.
Good, good.
So, I think this is awesome, much needed. I'm like most guys, and most gals too for that matter. I'm concerned with how's it going to make my car look when you attach it. Talk to me about that. Do you have like a plan for different vehicles, different models, or is it one size fits all, or SUVs, or cars? Is there a difference? Tell us about that.
Exactly. So our product is a solar panel that will go on top of your car. So different sizes for different cars. If you have a huge car, you'll obviously need a bigger solar panel. But if your car has a sunroof, we're planning to work around that, and the wires will be fed through the car, and then everything will hook up to the DC AC power battery in the hood of your car.
Very well.
So I'm curious, in your figures that you pitched to us initially, have you done any comparison or analysis on of the gas burned by a car, how much of that is going to running the air conditioning?
Yes, so a lot of the gas does go for just the car, so that the motor is running, the engine is running in your car, but a lot of the gas does go towards the air conditioning too. So we've calculated, I don't have a direct number for you, but when the car is running with an air conditioning, it burns a lot more gas than it does that if you have no air conditioning power whatsoever running in your car.
So have you guys given consideration to rainy days, cloudy days, driving at night, and how this would still continue to function?
We have. So the solar powered, or the solar panel that goes on top of your car will store the sunlight. So when it's sunny outside, you may be using 60% of the power directly if your car is running and you're running your air conditioning. But the 40% that you don't use goes into a storage tank. So if it's cloudy outside, if you can't see anything, if it's dark outside, you can still use that power that you've stored during the day or in a couple of days prior to use for your air conditioning.
Great.
Well, great job, guys. I think you have a few customers that I know. So good luck. And,
Thank you so much.
Keep going.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. How are you? I think you've got something to present to us this afternoon.
My name is Annabeth, and I'm in the 4th grade at White Oak Elementary School. The product that I've made is called the Sprangle Brush. It sprays detangling solution onto your hair as you brush it. And another part of this product is the is the Quick Connect autofill, which would put the scents into the brush so that you could brush your hair more easily without spilling your scents.
Cool beans. So now, do you have a presentation for us, or is this just a show? Or do
This is the actual product.
Very well, very well. So tell me, how does it work?
It's like, this is the brush, and this is the Quick Connect, and this is the vanilla scent, and this is the toasted coconut scent.
Awesome.
So have you gotten any user feedback yet? What do people think about the product that have tried it out so far?
I tried it out on myself, and it was like, the scent stayed in my hair all day, even like after soccer practice.
Cool.
So that's a pretty complicated device that you have there. It looks like a lot of thought went into it. Is this the very first design you had, or did you have another prototype or version that you used first?
This is my second prototype. The first prototype didn't have the autofill, and the scents weren't all natural like they are now.
Okay, great.
Well, I have a 7-year-old daughter, and she plays soccer, and I know what you mean. Sometimes when I get her in the car on the way home, her hair is tangled and it's funky. So I may be the first Sprangle customer you have. I know you said vanilla scent was your preference, right, over the other one? I think I recall that from your documentary or the filming you did.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you think about other scents? And where I'm going with this is, while my hair is short today, I may decide I want to have longer hair, hence the other shark down there, and he may need a Sprangle also. I don't know many guys who may want, a vanilla scented Sprangle. Could you apply this to men's fragrances? Are there opportunities out there?
Yes. How I got these two scents were, I had 5 original scents, and I tested all of those. I can't remember what they are right now. I tested all 5 of those, and these 2 came out on top for the most popular at a very close tie, so I decided to do both of them.
Awesome.
Good job.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Paulina Ramirez, and I've created the pen highlighter pencil pen. So the pen highlighter pencil pen was created in a very unique way, to where it held a pencil, a highlighter, and a pen, to where it caused less hassle. So has any of you had the situation where you're taking notes and you had to write down something with pen and then had to highlight it real quick and switch to a pencil and write it down and then go back to a pen and highlight it everything? Well, I personally had this struggle a lot all through my school year, and I personally hate it. So I have created this device to permanently stop that situation from happening. So basically, it has a pencil, a highlighter, and 2 very neat pens. And this is very handy, and you can take this on the go. And I was at a board meeting last week, and I presented this to them, and several already told me, where can I get this? Where is this sold at? How can I get this? Are you already manufacturing this? And I'm like, no, not yet, but I do have several other ideas along with this. So different things, such as, instead of pencils, different types of pencils, like 0.7, things along that line. And styluses, since this world is becoming more techy, styluses or laser pointers for presentations, or clickers for presentations, everything, something along those lines. So that is my pen highlighter pencil pen.
So I admire your marketing. Reading through your documentation, I realized that your sort of naming of the device is hearkening back to the I may get this wrong, pin, pineapple, apple
yes,
pin?
Sir.
Is that the
yes,
right,
sir.
the right
yeah.
ordering?
Yes,
Have you
sir.
looked into sort of what licensing would be required for using that as marketing campaign for
No,
your product?
not yet. I'm going to start heading into that way, but not yet.
So I really like the idea of making something that's more functional and decreasing the amount of materials that especially students have to carry around and potentially lose. Have you given any thought to whether the parts would be replaceable, or is this intended to be a single-time use? So for example, if I use my pen more often and it runs out of ink, but my pencil and my highlighter are still fine, do I have to buy a whole new device, or can I just replace the pen part?
You can replace the pen part, but I think it would be much more easier buying a whole new product.
Okay.
But I'm going to look into seeing, because you would have to waste more money just buying a whole new one, but I'm going to look into seeing, how, giving them instructions or giving them more ink or more highlighter ink or more lead, along with the product.
All right,
so
great.
they can switch.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've seen a similar product like that, but it's just pen. Oftentimes, there's the red, the green, the blue, and the black. I'm sure my fellow sharks know what I'm talking about. Have you considered either partnering with a group that makes that, BIC or whoever it may be, or selling them your technology, or do you just want to go right after them as a competition and manufacture this a little differently yourself?
What I was thinking is, since I originally made this off of the multicolor pen, so I just used the case and the ink of the pen and the little whatchamacallits right here. So what I was thinking is probably partnering with them, and the cases that they do not use or something like that, they could give to me, and I can use those and use them for my product.
I got you. Thank you.
How much does this awesome device cost me?
Okay, so it would cost somewhere around $4 or $5 since it has the highlighter pen and the pencil.
Okay. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, you too.
Hello, welcome. So glad to have you guys here today. You want to tell us a little bit about the idea you're presenting?
I'm Amari, and this is Jacqueline. Our idea is Unwind. It is a stress relief app that, it's unlike the other apps because we have everything put together in one, such as like breathing exercises, the yoga poses, and we have the calming music, white noise, and all that stuff. It's currently not in the App Store yet, but we're working on getting it there, and when we do, it'll only be in Android, but once we get it to the Google Play Store, we'll be able to expand it to Apple and Microsoft and other app stores.
So have you given thought to like how you would either sell this, or are you planning on giving it away? What price would you sell it for?
We don't know like what the prices would be, but we would definitely sell it since we're still in school, so we don't really have much time to update and work on it.
Yep, absolutely.
Great. Well, it's a neat idea, a great idea to have a clearinghouse for all things that are calming, right? We all could use a little bit of calming in our lives, So I appreciate you paying attention to that. Along my fellow Sharks line of questioning, I've seen kind of the app world develop into where folks are selling advertisements along there to help pay for that so that they can make it free to the customer. Is that something that you would consider?
Yes, we would definitely consider that because we don't want people to have to worry about paying it because the entire point of the app is to not be stressed, and we don't want people to have to have to pay for the app.
And I think this is a wonderful piece. We see what happens when people are stressed, whether they're in school or whether they're working. So how are you going to get the word out about your app?
Well, as he just said, we'd like to advertise it, but not yet, of course, because we're still working on it. Like maybe over the summer we could work more with it rather than having to worry about it during the school year.
So have you done any user trials yet? Have you given it to other people and gotten feedback about how they think it works?
Yes. We've shown it to family and friends, which they might be a bit biased, but still we wanted to let them get a feel for it and see how they thought of it.
What do they think of it?
They think it's a really good idea, and like I said, they might be biased, but they're saying like it's very helpful.
Great job, guys. Thank you so very much. Thanks for your time. Good. Hey, guys. Welcome. Tell me a little bit about why you're here today.
Okay, I'm Thomas Compey, and these are my friends and partners, Logan Payne and Gracie Ford. We have created AutoOp, a simple app that will let anyone be proficient in fixing their car without any formal training. Now, the app is made of videos and detailed directions on a simple, easy-to-use interface. Currently, the app is an APK file that can also be accessed online. We want to make this thing convenient, so we didn't take our videos that we made and we didn't put them directly in the app. we embedded links to YouTube so that people can watch it there. Now, if you needed to access it and you didn't have access to a network, then you can use our offline directions mode, which is detailed and made from the scripts of our videos and can convey the exact same information. Now, going forward, we want to kit more cars and individualize it to each make and model so that and using crowdsourcing so that we can get more diversity to the styles of videos. Thank you for your time. We are very excited to hear your feedback and questions.
Great. Well, we've all been stuck on the side of the road, or at least those of us with driver's licenses have been stuck on the side of the road at times. Stuck troubleshooting through the book in the glove compartment, right? What does this mean? How does this go? So I think there's definitely a market. So congratulations on that. My question is, technologies in automobiles changes almost as fast as other technologies are changing nowadays. The cars of a generation ago were big and heavy, and you could actually get in, and they didn't involve as many electronic components as today's automobiles do. How do you envision updating it? How often would you do that?
Well, what I was saying about individual makes and models, so you're not going to have differences in a different make and model. So that if you want to look at a simple car that you can make the video for that car is what we are envisioning.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool beans. I like it, and I need something like that. As you can imagine, I'm not the most handy with tools. And to that point, it's great to have an app that shows me what to do. Does the app go as far to show me in the hardware store how to purchase tools, which tools I need, or what about that?
Yes, we have a section called Tools for the Job. So it will list materials, tools, so like a spare tire or a tire iron, along that nature.
Cool beans.
So you mentioned that your app is currently at APK, which is deployable for Android, right? Mm-hmm. Have you looked into what it would require to convert that or adapt that into something that would be installable on iOS devices as well?
That's our plan for moving forward. We want it on bigger app markets, but currently we do not have the capital for that because it is very expensive. Mm-hmm. So that's a goal. Okay. Going forward.
So obviously there's a lot of different kinds of repairs that we might need to have on a car. Where did you guys start with? What are sort of the processes you've thought about as being the highest priority to get on the app first?
Well, right now we have changing a tire, jumping off an engine, and also how to fix a broken taillight. Those are the 3 focus points right now, but we want to expand to almost anything you can think of.
All right, great.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Good job.
Thank you.
Yep.
Greetings, ladies.
So there are about 1 million homeless people in the world today. And some people want to turn their heads to this and act like it does not affect them. But we decided that we were going to create a community for these people that may not have anywhere to go. So we want to provide them with the basic necessities as well as teach them life skills so that they can be independent and self-sufficient, so we can end the cycle of poverty and homelessness. We will provide them with a unit, an individualized unit, and it's basically a small room, and it has a bed and a dresser in it. Showers, bathrooms, the kitchen, the dining room, the laundry room, all of that is shared amongst the members. We will help them get jobs outside of the community, but will also require that they maintain tasks within the community. For example, cleaning dishes, cleaning the bathrooms, and gardening. We have a large central garden, and that will be the main source of our produce, and they will have to garden it. We will do therapy sessions. We have a large facility at the front, and we have offices and conference room where we will do group and individualized therapy for people that have mental disabilities, drug problems, things like that, because we don't want to turn them away. 1/5 of the homeless population is mentally ill, and we want to be able to help them and so they can be independent and get the right treatment.
Very well. And this is going to be here in Coweta. And so one of the things that Coweta lacks is a transit system or a transportation system of some kind. Have you thought about how you would help those homeless people who are not within walking proximity get to you? How would you assist those people who need help getting to you?
There is a Coweta, it's like a bus. I know that drug court and veteran court programs, they use that to get their people that don't have transportation to and from court, drug screenings and things like that.
So with these individuals who are that don't have phones, is there, how could they get to you by chance?
They could use those systems. They could reach out to us by going to churches and places like that.
I really love the spirit of giving back that this project embodies. I'm curious, have you talked to other organizations, courts, churches, homeless organizations within our community about working with them and cooperating, and if you can get any assistance from them to deploy the project?
I've talked to personnel at Bridging the Gap and the Kim Ramey's art studio that's right next to Bridging the Gap, and both of them would help fund. Bridging the Gap has actually wanted to create a community for these people for a long time. It's just timing and funding because it is a lot of money. But organizations like that, as well as churches, and then we'd use fundraising to earn money.
So it seems like this would have a lot of demand. Have you given any thought to how you would maybe screen applicants if there was more people who were interested in staying than you actually had room for?
We have room for expansion. We estimated that we'd start with about 30 living units, and then if more people need housing, then we would expand from there.
Great job. Oftentimes organizations such as yours start out at dealing with populations that are either gender specific, men only, women only. Have you considered that? Or would you offer programs that are?
We would offer programs for both sexes, and we'd also allow families and couples to stay. We have different units that would allow a family to stay here, so maybe they can get help without losing their child, and so the kid won't end up in the DFAC system.
Great idea. Well, girls, thank you so very much for your time today. I wish you great success. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Let's hear your pitch.
I'm Alina Powers, and beside me is Natalia Warden and Victoria Sacasa. Recently, Coweta County was issued 17,000 Chromebooks to its students. Because of this, teachers are seizing that opportunity, and we are receiving more computer-related assignments than ever before.
Tell us a little bit about the product.
It is made with a corrugated plastic on the back and a plexiglass screen because it's sturdy and environmentally friendly. We use rubber-coated metal clips at the bottom to ensure that no computer screens get scratched. We invented this because students are spending hours hunched over computer desks, and that causes back and neck pain. So the Chromebook clip allows the user to maintain a proper back posture and a slightly elevated head to prevent that back and neck pain. This clip saves an average of 25 seconds per just 5 to 6 sentences, and over the time of a 5-paragraph essay, this saves a lot of time. As I said, to build it, we use a plastic board and a plexiglass screen and metal clips. And then our market is very huge, we believe. There are over 300 million Americans that use a computer in their daily lives, and 70 million of those are students.
So when you're marketing this product, are you marketing to students themselves directly, or is this something that you see pitching to a school district to provide with their Chromebooks?
Yes, we are hoping to, in the future, make a deal with the Coweta County School Board so that we can, like they made a deal with the Chromebook clips and they issued them to everybody, hopefully we can also issue these to everybody.
So why did you choose the materials that you did for this prototype?
We found that plexiglass was, as I said, environmentally friendly but still very sturdy, and we originally used 2 sheets of plexiglass for both the front and the back, but we found that was heavy and it made the computer screen fall all over the place. So the plastic board in the back makes it light and just keeps it maintainable, portable.
Oh, that's a great idea.
How long does it take you to make one?
2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours. And do you mind you take it off and put it back on, show me how easy it is?
You just unclip the back, take it off like that, and then you use the clips, put it straight back on. And then the paper just slides in the top like this.
All right, thank you.
In an ideal situation, how would I get one of those? Where would I go?
We're hoping that Office Depot, that we can get in with them.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time today, guys. Great pitch.
Good job.
Hey, welcome. So let's hear your pitch. What brings you here today?
So what we did is we made a documentary that is hopefully going to, in the future, turn into a training program for police to gain access to procedures when dealing with somebody who has a communication disorder. A big problem is the communication disorder and the fact that the police officers cannot, and as of right now, they don't have any procedures to deal with it. As of right now, they have no way to identify whether or not they have a communication disorder unless they have prior access to or prior knowledge of knowing how to figure that out and understand. So what we did is we made the documentary, and we would like to in the future create a training program using the documentary.
So I know in Coweta County a lot of the officers are now wearing body cameras, which is a great technology. Have you talked to anyone in the department here or in any other counties about whether or not you would be able to access that footage from body cameras to use in your training program as examples for real interactions between officers and subjects and people?
Yes, using my connections with my cousin-in-law, he was able to give me some access to speaking with police officers in Fayette County. And however, while they do have body cameras, you cannot actually gain access to them without having probable cause or a warrant. So we were unable to get any footage or any access to those.
So I would imagine that there's probably a wide range of communication disorders that exist. So is your plan to focus on a few specifically or to do it at a higher level? And if so, what would be the specific ones you would focus on at least first?
So right now, what we have really narrowed it down to is aphasia, CAPD, all forms of autism that can cause any type of communication disorder, and deafness.
Okay, great.
Well, first of all, I commend you for attacking a particularly relevant issue in today's world. Do you think that there's a way that you could use your training videos outside of the police department or the sheriff's office? Are there other groups or organizations that may find value?
Honestly, as a group, we have not thought of that yet, but if we were to have thought about it, personally, I think that yes, other places could benefit from it, other organizations, other things of the sort could benefit from our training program.
Right, thanks.
Thank you. I think it's a wonderful thing. I think you're on the right track. Keep at it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so what do we think? We've heard from all of them. They're all tremendous young people. We had the clip immediately jumps off, right? Great application. All the kids have the Chromebooks. You're going to need the clip. I see it. They showed, to your point, evidence-based, quantitative-based
I really like
evidence.
that they had some real measurements and had done some testing with users.
Yeah. And they had some ideas about where they would take it to market.
Yeah. So how about the Sprangler? I loved it. Like I joked earlier, I have a 7-year-old soccer player and her hair gets nappy. And it needs that thing, I could see it in my car, well, maybe my wife's car. And she could have that and they going with it. But anyway, what do you think?
I like that she had walked through different prototypes. This was her second revision, and she was able to tell us, you know, these are the things that she improved from one prototype to the next. It was really cool to see that she's got momentum in the project and is clearly seeking out improvements to better it.
And all of the branding that she had with the shirt and then actually having the product here for us to take a look at, I thought that was great.
Yeah. The fact that it's a product that families would primarily use, I mean, that it's beneficial for that purpose. I think this is the right atmosphere for it, the right market for it. So I agree.
And one that jumped off from you, right, was the young man and his teammates who were talking about making documentaries for police departments, sheriff's departments.
Yeah, absolutely. My son is autistic, and I think all the time about what his life is going to be like when he's out in the real world with people who don't necessarily appreciate his communication difficulties. And so to the points that you made, I think that, you know, it's applicable far beyond just law enforcement.
Yeah. And so many other great projects too, right? I mean, you had the automobile.
Yeah, we had lots of cool automotive projects, pun intended. We had the electric air conditioning project, which was very neat to see some very forward-thinking ideas in the way of climate change and how we can burn less gas, and also produce a marketable savings and fuel costs for your average driver. There was the Android app that could help people fix their cars. So was neat to see a couple of different automotive projects. And then we also had some projects that were focused on giving back and improving life. So the relaxation was another app that we saw, and I think it's really cool to see Coweta County students actually making apps and getting some computer science ideas out there on the field. So that one was a really neat one as well.
And for you, I know Pastor Cook, you had mentioned and had particular interest in the homelessness, and you asked some very pointed questions. That was a good group too.
I thought that it speaks to the mindset of our students and where their intentionality is. It's not all internet-based, it's not all tech-based, it's not all automotive-based, and it's not all self-based in terms of education, but they're looking beyond themselves and their needs, and I think that speaks volumes.
Well, and we had the one group also that looked at internet addiction and really trying to see how that could be, and I think there's a lot of applications for the small piece they studied to take that further and really try to understand how the internet affects our students.
I agree. Well, I guess from this conversation, I think we probably have somewhat of an idea or consensus on who we think at least our top 3 are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Absolutely. Sounds good. Let's bring the top 3 groups in and share the good news.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, welcome back. Happy to have you back in the Shark Tank. Today we enjoyed hearing from all of you. We enjoyed dinosaurs, right? Sprangle and the clip. As in life, with sometimes there are winners and sometimes there are others who don't quite win but are just as dynamic and as wonderful. We have to pick a winner today. So maybe that's not the most exciting thing for us, but I hope each of you takes the idea that you have collectively and individually and you run with it. Don't let today be the last day that you toy with this idea or other ideas. We need that. We need people like you, young people, pushing and thinking and helping not so young people like us think so much. So congratulations to all of you for making it to the final 3. So before we move forward, I'm going to announce the final 2 will stay, and the second runner-up, or that sounds good enough for today, will have to leave, and that person is the clip. So guys, thank you so very much for what you did, but there is a consolation prize, I believe. You are the People's Choice winner. So the school system opened up voting to students, your contemporaries. I think there were hundreds, if not thousands, of votes, and your classmates throughout all systems picked you guys as the People's Choice. So congratulations on that, and hopefully we'll see you next year. Thank you.
Congratulations, great work.
All right, so now it's back, the dinosaur and the sprangler, right? Nervous, I'm nervous too. You're both winners, right? You both did a great job. One of you took something that you use every day and you tried to develop a way to make it easier to apply that, right? How do I get detangler more easily into my hair and the hair of other stinky soccer playing girls with tangly hair, right? And then you guys, the dinosaur group, you attacked a very relevant issue that's affecting communities across probably the globe, to be honest with you and frank with you. But today, again, as I stated before, we have to pick one. And the one we picked is the dinosaur group. So congratulations, dinosaurs. You did a great job. The reason we selected you over Sprangle, and it's nothing against Sprangle, it's simply that your idea is something that I think could go to market tomorrow and I think would be helpful for police and sheriff agencies as well as a number of other applications tomorrow. So please don't let today be the last day. Keep working on it, keep pushing, keep thinking.
Great job, congratulations. You guys did excellent work and you addressed some serious unmet needs, and I think that there's no limits to how far you can go.
Congratulations, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in to the 2017 Coweta Innovation Expo Shark Tank. As you can see, our students have great hopes for the future. If you'd like to get involved with these types of student projects, just enter Coweta Innovation Expo into your favorite search engine. You can explore our website and see how you can join as a mentor or a judge. We'll see you next year for the Coweta Innovation Expo Shark Tank.